Welcome back, everybody. We're recording now.
Let's go. Let's fucking go.
In a very calm voice. It's like, let us go.
Let us begin. Let us, in fact, begin. That armor is that low level armor is somehow very pretty.
It is. Our
really nice
pants
looking armor.
are looking a little weird. It looks like we have a diaper. And I just now noticed this. I didn't notice it
I feel
before.
like there is a lot of padding.
We have a lot of padding. That's a very important location.
I was about to say, I feel like there being a lot of padding on the crotch part of your armor.
Nobody wants a blaster bolt into the crotch.
So I was looking up.
Would explode.
I was looking up some information to try to recollect my memory on lightsaber time, and it definitely seems that the two paths.
Just a little down. I'm not gonna go crazy here. I just have to make sure you people are hearable above the music.
But the two planets that are the quickest is either Dantooine or Nar Shaddaa. So one of those two planets will be the first one we go to.
I feel like we should do Nar Shaddaa first, because I remember it being there's a lot less There's a lot less chance of, being stuck in an infernal void of death on Nar Shaddaa.
Dantooine would be a better choice to do first, because there's a lot more Force stuff in it.
I will look at all of the names, and I'll choose which one I like the most.
Well, you've been to Dantooine before.
Oh yeah, we have. Maybe we'll go there, just see how it's changed then.
A lot. Long story short, a lot. Be very careful with your words here.
What happens if you die? Do I die?
I fear that the consequences would have been more extreme.
I'd like to not die.
It's weird in this game because you start out just scrapping for every bit of lightsaber that you can find. And then as soon as you get one, you start getting lightsabers everywhere. Your pack is full of them. And you can't figure out how to get rid of them fast enough.
Going to like garage sales like, please God, take this off me. You old bitch, you could kill over at any moment.
Does it actually say that?
But at your age, you could die at any moment.
I thought you were reading it off verbatim. I was like, no. Wait, what? That's so rude.
I don't think Star Wars would word it quite in that way.
He really wants you to talk that way to her. He can't stand her.
Who, Atten?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He dislikes his Jedi, and Kreia is a particularly cryptic, sneaky type Jedi character, so he really doesn't like her.
But Atten, you can mold his mind. You can fix him. You can fix him.
You'll put it.
Okay, well that doesn't sound very Jedi, Sam. You can fix him. We are in fact a good.
I love Kreia.
I would say that the Jedi practice of taking young children, impressionable young children, and molding them into space wizards is pretty evil.
I've had ranted about their scary Nazi propaganda Hitler Youth systems that they do to people.
Oh.
You had the Force chain ability.
How useful.
Indeed. Though, as we have noticed, it has its drawbacks.
Certainly, with her missing hand, which she's just chosen to ignore.
It's
like, this is Star Wars.
I got another one.
This is Star Wars, lady. We can, in fact, probably go to a garage sale and get you a new one.
He never gets a robotic hand or anything like that. She's perfectly fine with just having one hand.
Indeed. And was it the same as before?
I mean, she's perfectly
I only
scary
need one hand to whoop your ass.
I don't know what button it is because PC, but you can actually there's a first person button.
No.
When you're doing things.
I'm scared.
But if
I already
you're
had to
playing,
have like 3 mods to get everything working.
if you switch to Kreia and do first person, you see through the Force because she's blind, you know.
Visus is that same way
Yes,
as well.
Visus is a Maraluka, so she too is blind, and she also sees through the Force.
Was not as permanent as they thought.
And if you're a Sith, it's very noticeable, because they'll look at you and there's just this glowing darkness.
Somebody should fix this.
Do Miraluka even like have eyes, or do they just have flesh?
No, their race has no eyes.
It's just flesh.
The Force without reason.
They tend to cover that to not make other people scream.
Yeah, I was about to say, because they always wear bandages.
They
curious.
they tend to wear cool Star Wars sunglasses, usually. There's that villain in that real old Star Wars game, where KOTOR, that character was born from. He was a Miraluka as well. And he had
Did
Star
we
Wars
decide whether he
sunglasses.
exists or not? I forgot. Did we throw those away?
It was a real... I can't remember.
I feel like we came together and there was a lot of debate there.
There's a lot of yelling
because people really like Kyle Katarn, Tyler, and
certain unnamed people
and
named Tyler.
But there were some elements of his games that were hideously, obviously against canon, especially that
was what happened.
But he was cool.
The Kyle Katarn video games is where the Dark Troopers came from. That Mandalorian later took and ran fast with it.
Still, even so, the chances of the Jedi undoing such a thing for a traitor is a...
The Dark Troopers in Mandalorian were really cool, but I feel like the only reason they were robots is because they didn't want to have Luke just full-on bisecting
fully
people.
Destroying a hallway of people. It's like, oh, Luke.
That's why the droids exist in the prequels.
I knew that.
It's like, Luke, when you kill people, it's usually one big explosion, so we don't have to think about it.
Yeah, Lucas didn't want to show repeatedly all the Jedi Order cutting men down, so he made it to where the main antagonists were all robots.
Perhaps you can hear the Force,
which is a bit cleaver, a little bit.
If so, then there is
because but I would rather just show them massacring. The alternative is making it to where every individual person they do massacre, there's like a character reason for them to massacre them, and they massacre a lot of things in the prequels.
Or they could just, really dive into the whole duality of war and be real smart about it.
Look, the prequel movies are already really long, and there's a lot to cover. There's a lot to go over, okay?
They do feel really long.
So much you can do.
Anytime I watch the prequels, it's like, oh, this is really going on.
Each one of them are over 2 hours long, and there's so much that was left out. So much that was cut, and so much that they decided to throw into books later and stuff.
I'm surprised it didn't ever get a whole Lord of the Rings thing going for it, where they released like the full 6-hour cut of each movie.
That's because all of the prequels were done digitally. So if they wanted to do the stuff that was cut, it would take a lot of man hours because they'd have to build the world by hand.
That's true.
It's not like there's like test footage of them on location.
That's true.
Like
Lord of the Rings.
The scenes that are cut, they're like standing in front of a blue screen, and you'd have to hire animators and pay all of them to do all of that.
Lord of the Rings, they were already there filming the stuff. It just got taken out.
Yeah.
I do not trust him, and nor should you.
Lord of the Rings. Oh my god, I love Lord of the Rings, but have you ever tried to do all three of the extended cuts?
I have. I've done it. I tried doing it. I tried doing it to those bastards, but they refused to watch the last movie. Certain unnamed people that may be nearer than you think refused.
Were you watching the extended cuts or the theatrical?
We were watching
I was showing them the whole shebang.
It is a long time.
Jordan offered the regular ones, but I was like, if we're gonna watch them, we might as well do the whole.
Do you have the extended cuts on Parsec?
No,
Like,
because
I mean,
Parsec
Plex?
is not the program for that.
Yeah.
You knew what I meant, damn it! Do you have them on Plex?
Yes.
Oh, of course.
Oh, I'll have to watch those.
Oh, you almost pushed T3 out in space there. You just put your hands on his head and try to push him. So T3 usually doesn't like me because I tend to be really dark side, and he doesn't care for the dark side in this game.
He's very upset about it.
Why you mean to T3?
Well, I'm not mean to T3. It's just that he's like, you're being mean, and I'm like, well, get over it. And he doesn't care for that.
He got over Revan.
Well, this is an Obsidian game, and they don't like characters getting over moral things in this game. and they like to complain about it lots.
Your party members will very much tell you that they don't like what you're doing.
Yeah,
it's gonna happen.
They'll be very vocal about.
There
Well,
are
you're
a
good.
couple. Well, there are a couple party members, unlike in the first game, where there's literally like nothing you can do to change the destiny of your companions. In this one, the party members might say, "You know what? How about you just drop me off the next planet?"
I'll pick up a ride. It's fine. I got an Uber.
Well, you're light side, so you won't have too much of an issue.
Yeah, it's a problem if you're dark side. If you're being the dark side, you gotta be really political and work it through. You gotta Palpatine it a bit.
Bring it
into them slowly.
No screaming and laughing.
Yeah,
No,
if you
none of
scream and
that.
laugh and start cutting people in half constantly, there are certain companions who are like, I want to leave.
It's like,
The handmaiden
gonna
will
go.
very much
Baldor as
not like
well.
you.
Whatever his name is.
Oh
his
yeah,
Zaprak.
Balder. Yeah. Baldur's Gate.
So there's our friend, our good, generous friend.
Lovely. Let's
would-
fix him up.
Our friend who had never hurt a fly.
Never
ever.
He's missing 3 parts.
All 3 of them were on
You have
Paragus.
1 part.
Weren't all 3 of them on Paragus?
So no. The next part you'll get is at the very end of the first planet we're gonna go to, in Telos. At the very end of it, we'll get another part.
I don't think we
believe
have. Oh wait,
that's-
Adden. I gotta talk to
I believe
Adden.
that was Vice's room you were just in.
And then I believe I could be telling fibs.
Don't be
But I
telling
believe
fibs.
after you're done with Telos, you can go to Nar Shaddaa, and there's a robot part salesman, and if you shake him real good, you can get him to sell you the last piece of HK that you need, and you can have him pretty quickly. He's having a good time. I don't know if this camera angle is meant to where the console has like
He's
went
doing
away.
his best, okay?
Yeah, or if he's just
Listen,
having.
it's not just Friday evening for us. It's Friday evening
He
for him.
just had
It's
death
where you,
sticks.
it's at the end of the day where you start phoning it in, just like let's run out the clock here.
Withdrawal. He was on Paragus for a long time.
I couldn't even bring myself to run out the clock yesterday. I just left. I told Jordan this yesterday. I was like, yeah, I put in PTO and left work early. He was like, oh, why? I was like, I didn't want to be there.
Like, okay,
I'm on an assembly line for like satellites, right? Like, well, I imagine like entire size satellites going down.
That's what I imagine too.
He's got a little spot welder, and he's hitting them. And then, like in the middle of the day,
I imagine a little hammer. I imagine the satellite comes down the assembly line. He hits it with the hammer a little bit, and then it moves down.
Yeah, and then one day he's just standing there, and he like has a piece of the satellite in his hand. He just drops it on the ground, like military satellite worth $1 million. Drops it on the ground, shatters. He's like, you know what? I'm going home, and just like gets up, grabs his coat, and walks out.
Well, you know,
the satellites go on the ground.
You're wrong on a few things. I make radar.
I
work on radars. I work on radars, not satellites.
I think of radars. I think satellites.
That's right. Yes, exactly.
Makes me imagine you're in a spacesuit at the ISS right now with a spot welder.
I don't build them. I'm not a manufacturer. I'm a test.
But you do have the hammer, though, right? You got.
You do have the hammer, though.
No, I do not have a hammer. I'm a test technician, so I just test the equipment as it goes through manufacturing. So at different levels of manufacturing, I have to run it through tests and do math and all kinds of fun stuff.
You're really just shitting on my fantasy here, man.
If it makes you feel better, instead of a hammer, I have a multimeter. So I'm just constantly poking these big $1 million things with tiny little sticks.
That's kind of fun.
So it kind of looks like a spot welder a little bit.
A little bit.
Other test technicians do soldering, so
not much.
I just don't.
Sounds like
I got so close. I'm so close, damn it.
I just don't. I work on a different building where we're doing final assembly. If I was working on cards, like data cards and circuit cards, yes, I would have my little soldering knife and just with my magnifying glass, and I would get a new card every time I finished the old one. I'd just be like, yeah.
In the head. Sometimes conflicting orders cause it. Give a droid too much data or tell it to do something it can't do, it'll crack their behavior module in half. Others just don't get memory wipes and they start going crazy.
What? That seems like a bad system.
Speaking of which, I
also,
think that little trash
if
compactor's
Atten
long
ever
overdue.
asks you to play Pazak with him,
Trust me,
No.
droids
you
were
should
made
do
to
no,
play.
listen,
No.
shush,
They're predictable and
shush,
stupid.
I don't
shush,
wanna.
shush your lips,
I
okay?
don't wanna.
He teaches you a
can't
special
make me.
force technique through Pazak because he uses Pazak as a way to shield his mind from the force.
He thinks of
Freya
Pazak.
talks about later. I have to
You
spoil
can't.
some stuff for you because you're being a big tit baby.
No, you don't have to fucking spoil shit. Shut up, shut
Freya.
up, shut up, shut up, shut up,
No,
shut up.
stop, Alex.
Okay,
Stop
so
it.
when he asks for Pazak, you'll just do it then.
Yes, just do it, Jordan.
Sure.
I know you'll hate it, but just do it.
talking
If you
about?
won't do it
There
for
were plenty
Alex,
of
do it
times
for me.
back on Paragus where a lightsaber would have been helpful. So where's yours?
I don't know. I want it. I don't fucking know. Let's leave my lightsaber out of this.
I thought a Jedi was supposed to be married to their lightsaber. Guess I heard wrong.
Shut up.
You're about to
You,
get smacked
single
upside
hilt
the
or
head
one of
with
those
my
double-bladed
mind,
Jedi?
Atten.
It was the two.
Huh. I hear the twin blades are harder to master, but they can make enemies stampede over each other running for cover. A lot of Jedi in the Mandalorian Wars use double-bladed sabers. A more aggressive blade gives you more slaughter per swing.
I can only imagine the amount of
You didn't
people
go
that would
red,
just
did you?
slice themselves in half with that kind of thing.
That's why it's harder to master.
I'm not a red. How do you even forget? How does that even happen?
Yeah, unique how?
I don't know. It just was.
Oh God, there's so many options.
Shit.
You should do silver just cause it
That
sounds
sounds
fancy.
pretty, so we are gonna go silver.
Must have been something. Sure be nice to have it now. Might make
I-
those Sith think
it
twice
would.
before coming after
Yeah.
us.
It would.
Jordan's not mad about it at all.
No, I'm
That
not.
choice will retroactively affect your memories because later on there'll be cutscenes where you'll see yourself later and it's like now you have the silver lightsaber.
That's fun.
I have an
Alright,
issue with
forget I said
the
Like I
flashbacks
said
about
before,
your
you can check our
lightsaber, but
course
I'll
in the galaxy
ignore
map
it
if you
for
want.
now because
It's
I
on
don't
the
want
wall
to spoil
behind you.
anything.
We'll get to it. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, no. We
That's something to do with a character that I've affectionately called Bitch. And we will all know her as Bitch by the time the game's done.
Oh, I hated this.
Alex has
games.
issues
I'm
with
back
that
to
character
fine.
that I had with Bastila, where it's
Samuel's
just I have a
But
deep
Bastila was so
hatred for
fun. We
Bastila.
took her and made her better.
Fucking hate Bastila.
It was great. It was great.
I
We
wish
all
it was
loved
a light.
Bastila, all of
I
us.
wish it was a light side option to be able to decapitate her right there on the ship.
I don't think you know what light side is. I feel that there's been a miscommunication somewhere along the lines. Because
No, because see, it would make no, because see, it would make
no.
Sam
There's
Julie
no,
just doesn't see the light side. It's
No.
not something that's in
I'm
his,
saying-
like, vision.
I'm saying it's because it would make sense for it to be a dark side option, but then it would be in the light side. You just have to deal with her.
he
I don't
sees a
wanna deal
dingy
with her.
gray, and that's beautiful extreme light over there. And it's just dingy gray.
Attention, this is Citadel Station Bay Control, Dock Module 126. Please remain where you are. Lieutenant Dahlgren will arrive shortly.
That lady looks like she's put in a lot of years of this doc.
If they think we caused the explosion,
It's
here comes the
fine.
welcoming party. They may not know what happened, so don't blow it.
I'm Lieutenant Gren, Telos Security Force. I'm under orders to take you into custody in regards
mean,
to the destruction of
if
the
they
Paragus
even
mining
if they
facility.
think you caused the explosion, like you're the sole cause of it, they're not entirely wrong.
But that's just time out of my schedule.
Because I mean, you were there and you
Wrong
had
with this
something to
game.
do with the entire issue that
I
happened
know.
there.
I was there.
In the meantime, your ship and any droids will have
But
to
they
be
don't
given
have to
over
know.
safekeeping.
No, they can just fuck off.
That's not the light side
Yes, that
way.
includes you. You are a droid, so you will be detained.
Oh,
In
how
addition,
rude.
we will have to take your personal arms
They're
and
just
arms
gonna
for
take-
our inquiry.
I just got it.
They're taking his weapons,
I
Alex.
just got it. They're gonna put me back, right back into pajamas. What's happening?
I don't think they take your
there any
armor.
way to
Do
get
they
our
take
gear
your
back?
armor, Alex?
If you
That's
are
what they
cleared
just
of any
said.
involvement, your personal effects
They said
will be returned
arms,
to you.
didn't they?
You
They
will
said
be held
armor.
briefly in the TSF station
You-
until
you-
living
you're-
quarters can be
you're
arranged,
fine.
at which point you will be placed under
With,
house arrest.
this is the
Do
part where I
you
was talking about
understand?
how you go from Paragus and then you go to Paragus Part 2 because they give you a taste of freedom and then they take it away immediately.
fine, whatever.
My men will relieve you of any arms and armor.
Yeah,
Please
yeah,
follow me.
yeah,
Tell
yeah.
me I'm not going to jail again.
Maybe.
It's like, I won't tell you you're going to jail again, but... Oh, hey, look! Look at that!
I don't know what you're saying.
I know
It's
you
Robin.
don't. She's wearing so many clothes. She's wearing so much
Hailed
clothing.
here briefly.
That never happened.
She's
will
gonna
be
start
arranged for
singing
you and
good
your companions
songs
as we
about
speak.
dancing on her own.
Someone will return shortly to escort you to an apartment in residential module 082.
That sounds.
Why do I keep getting put in this shit?
We're putting you in an apartment. This doesn't look like an
This
apartment.
does not appear to be an apartment, madam. These absolute bastards. This isn't an apartment. What do you mean an apartment?
For a while. Might as well get comfortable.
Can you imagine putting somebody in a cage and it's like, oh, but you're technically in an apartment, so you're fine. It's like, fuck her, no.
So this is the last of the Jedi. I must admit,
Oh, you
I'm a little
sound.
disappointed.
He has a
good.
different voice, so that means he's important.
You sound just British enough to be a
exchange is
Sith.
about
Yes.
Jedi,
You can feel the Sith come
The
off of
exchange,
them.
huh?
It's
I'm
like a
pretty sure some
stink
two-bit pistol
around
jockey
them.
like yourself isn't one of them.
Hey, I'm more than skilled enough to work for the exchange.
You bounty hunters couldn't even win a fair fight. You're the
I
cheapest,
imagine
most
Pola
worthless
Khan
mercenary
became
scum
more
in
and
the
more
galaxy.
British as we played,
I'd
as
ban
the story went on.
filth in a second.
Just developed the accent.
At the very end, on the Ebon Hawk, there was a large flag coming off it that was the
Then what? Overloaded
the
our
Union
forces
Jack
in the
just
field and made it
flying
work by accident?
behind.
To the point where at
Have the
the
guts to
end
fight
of
me.
the game, she wasn't even speaking as much as words were falling out of her mouth.
You're wanted alive. But
Alright, it's Junior, I'll show some inch.
Oi, what is he over there? Come on in, show some inch.
Come on in.
Why are you here?
like I said, the exchange.
At least you're not
has
totally
huge arms
naked.
on Jedi.
I
That is
guess.
true.
Forward to earlier
At least the government gave you clothing.
How kind. As they put me in an apartment.
This apartment.
This is what an apartment is.
You know, I do find it very weird that whenever you're naked in this game, you're actually wearing more clothing than in some armor. But when women are naked in this game, they're almost naked.
We know exactly why that is.
Yeah.
I just want to leave my apartment.
Maybe my
He's in-
memory.
He's
Maybe my
in
memory.
full
Leave him alone.
monologue
You
mode.
wanna
He
fight?
is.
I know.
Maybe my memory is
You've
being
got the guts.
skewed
You
by
have
my
everyone once,
my
and you shall
teenage
not do so
hormones at the
twice.
time.
But I shall dispose of all of you.
Because I think I was 19 the last time I played this game.
And a broken Jedi are no match to
The
me.
Something
last,
like
the
that.
last gasps of teenage hormones.
I don't know, my hormones didn't really figure themselves out. till-
Atten saved you
Good
because
for him.
he could have just like made it to where your cells would kill you all, but Atten played to his ego, and now he wants to duel
we're
you.
already looking right up.
So you're all gonna kill him because there's 3 of you, and 2 of you have
You're gonna beat him with your bare hand.
But how much?
You should raise your intelligence because that's gonna become a problem.
That was the plan. I was trying to remember what we were doing.
We now have 2 points. Oh my god! We have 2 points to level up with
Oh,
skill.
you can get the force deflect. That's always a good one in my
Which
opinion.
one is that?
It's
Yeah, with the hand. So until you get a lightsaber, you can deflect the force with your bare hand.
It's kind of interesting.
You just say
Is that an
no.
ability you have to do? How does that work?
No,
it
just
just
has a
always is
chance.
on.
Okay.
Yeah, it just
We'll
has a
get that then.
chance.
That's fine.
So every now and then, when someone shoots you, your hand will stand up, and you're like, "No."
It's just no.
It's like, no, you can't.
I will not allow it.
You mustn't.
To this day, that's still the
Pump up
scariest thing
his
I remember Darth
demolitions and
Vader doing.
security.
To this day, that is the scariest thing I remember Darth Vader doing.
You can also increase his. Well,
That's fine. We're saving it.
It's all right.
I did it on purpose.
Atten, I understand that it's on purpose.
her
but
repair needs to go up. Like her repair and treat injuries should go up.
I understand they did it on purpose, but Atten's outfit looks just not enough like Han Solo's outfit.
What were those feats she just got? Because she probably has feats unique to her that she just got, and you clicked them away.
Well, I didn't think they
No,
were
he's on
important, you
feats
see.
now.
No, you didn't see Sam. She got a whole bunch of extra ones that were unique to her. And I don't know what they are.
She seems like a very empathetic individual.
She seems very caring. You can get her force regeneration and health regeneration stuff.
I mean,
What?
she needs though. Where?
Yeah.
Which ones? Those are the bars.
What's that lightsaber
The
with
red
the
one's
whoosh?
The which one?
What's the lightsaber? The light. It's just the hilt with the whoosh.
That?
Yeah.
It allows her to use her
finesse.
dexterity.
Oh,
You'll want to
finesse.
get that to her later on because she has a high dexterity and no strength. But whatever, she's more of a force character, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Do you want to get
Now,
the
I saw
deflection
down
as
there
well?
she can get a level 2 dark side power, and
Horror.
she can cast horror upon people, which is nice.
You could also get her Shocky Shock. You can make her Palpatine.
Do
You
like
sure can. She can have another power because she's she's powerful.
I'm not
You give her
used to
electricity.
Yeah, she
Give
will
her
get them in
electricity.
bundles.
Shock. It's just a shock now. It's just a little shock. Oh, she
I imagine there's nothing little about it.
nothing.
Just
The highest level of the force shock stuff.
just a storm.
Be aware.
The highest level of it, you point it upwards and it just like goes all around you.
Oh, is Force Roar in this one? That's a good one. Force Scream.
Yeah, it's
there
like
it is.
it's a force scream. It's
There it is.
pretty good. It's another dark side one.
Make her
Really useful in
I want her to do
in
this.
lightsaber
I want her
duels.
to
It
deflect.
is because it just kind of says no.
I think.
And also, if I remember correctly, it sounds really scary.
So something you should consider doing when you're done with this fight is looking through your character, going through everyone's like basically character sheets, and you should look up their feats because every character, including companions and you, have a couple of.
You keep doing the lightsaber deflect. Did you see that? Where you just said nope.
Man down, quick! Call a medic!
Listen, he came
I
at me
think
in
it's
my
based off-
apartment. In my own apartment!
Hands in front of you.
in my own abode.
Cooperate, and we won't have to
The
gun
quote
you down.
unquote
Come on,
apartment.
Lieutenant. They've already killed. Who is that? Is that Batu Rem?
I don't. He's just some guy.
He was an assassin.
Impressive! You allowed an assassin to infiltrate your ranks.
ranks.
You stupid shit.
How dare you be so dumb?
You're also
It's a very Qui-Gon statement.
I still can't get over how much this character looks like Tyler.
Yeah, it was intentional.
I know. I just
No
it's so
assassin.
weird.
Batu Rem is on leave. He shouldn't even be on the station. This man isn't him.
Well, he's here.
If you ever thought Telos had good security,
Something
well,
we're gonna have to look into.
Now you
I
know.
I don't
can't
think
have it
so.
easy.
The planet is shit.
it's
On
awful.
many different
Apartments
levels.
in residential module
It's just
082.
full of crime and
You'll stay there to
corruption
house
and
arrest until our
ineptitude, and it's
investigation into the
awful.
Rogers matter is complete. You'll be under TSF protection.
I don't want to go to another department. I didn't like the first
We'll visit us to
one.
your quarters, and we'll investigate this incident to the best of our ability.
Which means they won't do anything.
Yeah.
Let's go. To the best of your ability, not very
This
inspiring.
incident. She'll look into this. The rest of you come with me. We'll escort you to the apartment in 082 immediately.
Yeah.
This better be an actual apartment,
So,
sir.
it
Just
is.
another cage. It's like,
It's
God
like,
damn it!
Slightly
This is
bigger.
quarters for the duration of your house arrest.
This
Two
apartment is
officers
kind of
will
like the
station
hub
outside
here.
at
This
all
where your
times.
companions will
And
hang out if you
while
want to leave
clearing
any of them
residence,
behind, that kind of
there won't
thing.
be another
That's
incident.
what they did with the
Which-
first level on
Why
the
don't you
first
leave
game,
us
but
a
we never
voice
really
or two?
came back there.
If you want to increase your influence with Atten,
I can't
then you need to
say.
bring him
We have
along.
a ship examining what's left
Bring
of the
him
Because as
along.
I
Bring
said
him
before,
now, so
if you
your
bring
scheme isn't
Atten and
brief.
Kreia with you
Keep
together,
informed.
you'll
They
have
start
moments
you.
with Atten where Kreia will step in the way and just straight
Well,
up stop.
I kind of like the drama, so.
Let's go.
No, to be fair, to be fair, Alex is right. It's best just to leave Craig.
I trust you, but I kind of like the drama.
The drama is interesting, but you will get significantly less influence, and you're making it so that you'll never unlock some Jedi stuff later on.
You're shooting yourself in the foot for the sake of comedic drama.
I don't. You're not
Which I won't
you're not
stop you from
dissuading
doing.
me from doing it.
Like, I won't stop you from doing, but I will just tell you you're doing.
Yeah, like you're doing wrong, but you're an adult. You can do wrong if you so wish.
Yeah,
If you want
go
to
ahead and
smoke
meditate.
cigarettes and not get
As for me,
vaccinated, I guess that's your right as an American. You're going to have deep Jedi thoughts. They're going to interrupt your deep Jedi thoughts while Atten sits there being bored as shit.
What do you want?
With no video games.
There's nothing to do. There's no video games.
The Star
Everyone's
Wars
joining the Mandalorians and rebelling.
Does Star Wars have video games?
Probably.
Hopefully.
But the Jedi are too busy to do that.
I'll let him in now.
Oh, it's another one. God damn it, he's gonna talk in my ear. They just put horrible noises in my ears.
They represent the faction you will be joining in this conflict on this planet because they are the light side ones.
What does he want?
One nice thing about the light side options is that almost all the light side options in this game give you more force points because, like, the leader of their faction, he's just like, I will show you the true, and you get a force point increase. So there's that at the end. Nice. Whereas the bad guys at the end is like, here's a bucket of money.
Don't spend it all in one place, kid.
Just cold, hard cash. Go buy yourself something nice.
You can be real cheeky and like work both sides, but it takes a lot of time.
I imagine this race has like flaps as opposed to like any sort of jaw. And
no, they got like you see the dangly bits on his neck there? If you were to lift those, then there's like these like gill-looking instruments.
I don't have any interest in lifting those.
Yeah, there's flaps, and
well, no, they're more like slits. Like if you took a taut thing and you cut slits into it, and then if you peeled them back, it'd be like fish gills, where you see the bits in there.
I already didn't like these people, and you're not improving their case.
So their race are like they're Greenpeace. They love nature. In fact, on their planet, they have like floating cities because they don't like walking about on their planet because they feel like they're damaging it, that kind of thing. But they actually have a thing to where they can scream real bad, so much so they can like they can pop people's eardrums and make you fall down on the ground in pain.
Wow.
It's like a thing that they can do. That's like a little fun little thing that they're capable of doing, which they don't do in this game, luckily.
I imagine if they smoke a death stick, they just kind of like put it on the back of their neck.
It's like the that one Elcor in Mass Effect 2. He's got the little
yeah
on Omega.
People, if they truly suffer so.
I imagine races without mouths have very interesting drugs. Just like, here, you rub this in your eyes.
So he represents Chodo Habat, and Chodo Habat's like, please, everything's bad,
Fix all. I don't have time to fix, you must fix.
We heard that you use the Force, and we also use the Force.
Then we'll teach you how to use the Force better. We'll do this for you. You just look at that super uncomfortable looking bed. That bed looks so uncomfortable.
That looks horrific. I'd rather just sleep on the floor personally. What are you gaining from the bed that you do not have from the floor?
He has a pillow.
I can take the pillow off. It is flat.
It has a stiff pillow.
If by pillow you mean just a slab.
I think the pillow might be cardboard with a sheet on it.
I don't like it.
It's a wonderful planet.
Doesn't sound like they're gonna leave us alone.
Because I want to look for like 2 seconds.
That was Atten trying to prevent you from jumping out of the window in despair. And then this is Zerka. I do like how they just flatly introduce you to both of the factions here. Like, here are your choices.
Just big cold away.
Yes, go ahead. I'm the only person on this planet that can do anything.
As my assistant no doubt informed
Those
you,
tattoos
I am
look
John
very
Anderson.
uncomfortable.
So it's
They
the
look
shit-
like they hurt.
Well,
I understand
She has Star
you were
Wars
approached by
tats.
an
I
Authorian
feel like they
agent.
hurt a
Doubtless
lot
he tried
whenever
to
you
obtain
got
your
that.
help, attempting to purchase it with
Just a
imposed guilt
tattoo
and
on,
veiled
it's
threats.
on your temple. Like, I can't imagine that felt good.
I
Just
suppose
feeling
you
your
could mention
brain
exchange.
rattle.
I like that
with
they
the
have
needle.
statues of people bowing.
In other words,
next to them.
Authorians won't lead the
Just
exchange
some
to
subtle
you.
imagery
Work with
there
them.
for you.
It's like, if you wanted to know who the bad guys were.
Yeah.
I never intended to waste your time discussing Authorians.
Like, I'm afraid to have a tattoo near my nipple. I can't even imagine having a tattoo on my temple.
So to tell you how fun,
I like that you specifically point out nipple there. It's like, chest is fine, but don't you fucking get near that nipple.
It's like waxing. It's like, ooh, not the nip.
Well, all my friends that have chest tattoos, they always said it's like it was fine until they got near my nipple, and then it was terrifying. It hurt, like it hurt, and you
would
just
imagine.
feel the air. You just feel it tearing, and you're just—it's very sensitive.
What in God's name? What tattoos are involving tearing? It's like
That's
we have
what.
to,
Oh,
we have to take
no,
this
that.
off first.
Honestly, that is in fact the best feeling I can think of whenever they're actually putting a tattoo on you. Is that it doesn't feel like something's stabbing you. It just feels like they're tearing something across your skin.
They get the tattoo saw out.
And it's not too bad whenever it's just like the standard needle and they're doing line work. But when they bring out the duck fin to do shading, my tattoo had a lot. My tattoo's black and white, so it's a lot of shading. So I just remember sitting there.
Standing saw.
I just remember sitting there for hours, just like, good God, could someone shoot me in the head?
To tell you how friendly and kind the Zerka Corporation is, they are actually the inventors of the HK series droid.
It's like we dealt with them last time, but so I have some idea.
Wasn't Zerka the one that made you pay docking fees?
Yes, repeatedly, constantly, over and over, as the Dark Lord of the Sith. Yes.
You cannot get
Them.
away from the Port Authority.
It's like I'm against them now because of that.
Even Palpatine cannot escape the Port
It's like
Authority.
you made another person that's unrelated to me pay docking fees, so I cannot help you.
The Emperor would land on a planet. And it's just like
They would put the big boot on the Death Star.
You better pay your fucking docking fees.
They rely on it, depend on it more than they know. Watch as one tries.
Just imagine him being like, "I am the Emperor. You will let me pass." It's like, no.
Or a man, a child.
Kills them, and a new person shows up, puts another boot, and says, "So now you have to pay for your docking fees and his life insurance."
You could survive where they could not.
Your companions are talking about you, by the way.
They
It's an
are.
irony of a sort. And it is
They're talking about how a Jedi
Jedi
without the Force is pathetic and nothing. They look at you and
Just
sneer.
ahem.
Been gone from war some time. It is conflict that strengthens us, and isolation that weakens us, erodes us. Add to that he turned away from war, did all that he could to forget it, and the last piece clicks into place. But we have
That was a very not Jedi statement.
We do him a disservice by not speaking of this while he is.
Freya falls somewhere real strange on the spectrum.
She falls on both extremes.
Can I leave?
And then
Can I leave? Please,
My
God.
companions are starting to get really philosophical in here.
I want to leave.
I feel like Kreia not only falls right in the middle, but also on both ends of the spectrum.
It's real hard. She defies the political
wanna
spectrum
go.
of Star Wars quite a lot.
She doesn't believe in light side and dark side. She just believes in the Force.
However, the Republic is sending its
She doesn't see light side and dark side. She doesn't see alignment.
I liked the other apartment more. I didn't hear my companions then. I just want to go. Let me be free.
So they've investigated. They don't believe that you're involved, but the Republic wants to talk to you, and so they're sending a ship, and they don't want you leaving the planet until.
Everybody
until
always
Republic
wants to
is
talk to me always. Like, you people can go into hyperspace. How long does it take to get here? Come on now.
You know
I was gonna
hyperspace.
say we
map.
know that.
I know.
Transferred with your ship along with your confiscated weapons and armor.
The other two didn't turn around until they got out.
They were like watching.
They were about to back up and start snapping their fingers at me.
I imagine they moonwalked. I know they didn't, but that's what I imagine.
Latin wants to go to Nar Shaddaa.
Well, we know we can get all the parts for the lightsaber on Nar Shaddaa, so there's really no reason to
No,
not.
you'll get some of them.
Blue, it is now. Even more
Either
so
Nar
if your
Shaddaa or
friends from
Dantooine are the
Peragus come
two
calling.
routes to get the lightsaber the quickest.
We'll go to Dantooine.
Because it depends on Citadel Station.
Well, we can't finish
depends on
Dantooine.
Peregian
Well,
fuel
no,
and
you
public
can, because we're doing light
senators.
side
The
stuff,
Citadel's
so
fuel source
it's
is
not
up at the
bad.
mining facility.
Okay.
And the bickering senators? Not something worth counting on.
If we were doing the dark side,
It
we'd
is
want to be
difficult to say.
terrified of Dantooine,
I
but
feel we came to Telos for a
Now,
reason, but we may have
Dantooine's where you get
spent
the
too
crystal,
much
right?
time
The fancy
here
crystal?
already.
yeah.
The
So
aim of the Harbinger was destroyed at Peragus.
it's sort of a
More Sith would
catch-22
already be
because
their
on Nar
way.
Shaddaa
Still,
you'll get all the
there is a
parts
chance we might
for
learn
the
of other
lightsaber
Jedi
quickest,
here
but you
on
won't
the
get the
planet's
crystal.
surface.
You have to like
Jedi
go around
might
and either
help
do
us
some weird
restore
stuff
your
or buy
abilities,
it for
or
up
sever
market
the link
price.
between us.
And then
Well, what do you
Dantooine,
think?
it's a bit of a thing to get all the parts, but you get the crystal easily. So, you know.
And you get a fancy crystal with your name on it.
Makes sense.
Yeah, you get a
Follow your
fancy
lead.
crystal that's customized that actually levels up with you on Dantooine. Which is why, since we're doing the light side path, I would suggest doing Dantooine first. But
They don't know where
that's
they're
later.
going. They've passed there 50 times now. They're really
They're
lost.
drunk. They're drunk. They're drunk.
They are so lost. They've been through this neighborhood like 5 times.
They're drunk.
Roll them up.
There's a liquor store somewhere.
Roll
on
'em up,
the surface,
kids.
And they're just like flying over it, trying to figure it
I
out.
love Vacation so much. That whole series, I just love it.
I've seen it once.
I've seen
Well,
it
which
many
one's
times.
it? Because there are many.
That is true. There are many. Which one have you seen once?
I've seen European Vacation and I've seen Christmas Vacation.
Well, European Vacation's not even one of the good ones.
It's not. That's like the worst of them.
It's like you saw one of the shit ones.
Like
And I've
Chris,
seen
I
Christmas
watch Christmas Vacation every year because it's wonderful and Christmas, obviously. And I've
Like
seen
the
regular
very first
Vacation.
one and then the Christmas Vacation are the required
Those
ones.
are
All
those
other
are the
ones-
top tier. Other ones,
Yeah,
you
those
know,
are the
watch
other ones are kinda
if you
optional.
really like the other ones, then you should watch them all. But those are the required ones.
And then there are some you shouldn't watch if you like them all because they'll retroactively potentially ruin.
I know what we're talking about.
It
It doesn't need to be said. I know.
Growing up, I used to always watch like the normal Christmas specials, like the Rudolph and everything like that. Growing up,
I watched Christmas Vacation.
as an adult, I tend to watch A Christmas Story at least once a year.
Christmas Story is a regular one for me. I love it.
My dad watches Bad Santa every year. Every
Bad
single
Santa's
year.
great too. I
I've never
do
seen
want to
it.
get around to watching Bad Santa 2 eventually.
I've never seen either one of them.
I'm not either.
Bad Santa's real good. I like it. It was John Ritter's last film before he died.
That conversation was 55 billion minutes, so we're gonna save.
Yeah, if it was to crash right now, you'd have to do all of that again.
You just start pressing random numbers.
So there's
Like, well, we're
actually,
Dark
there
Side
is,
now.
so unlike Peragus, where it was very linear, this actually is like an actual place.
Mm-hmm.
There is loads of side stuff you can do here. Like,
Oh, yeah.
loads.
I'll stumble my way through and we'll see what happens.
There's, like, you can do bounties with, the police.
Mm-hmm.
You can do, there's some stuff, there's fun stuff with the merchants, because there's 2 merchants, and I think they bicker, and they have quests.
Oh, it's the soothing voice people. They
This-
talk
this
to you,
somewhat
you start
disparate people.
slumping
Accident for me or
down.
my associate here. It looked like you wanted to make a fool of him.
It does. It
hate
does
their lips.
really.
I
dig
don't
some
like
Spanish.
any of the textures of their skin, actually.
Like, I feel like
Tell us to me,
if one
a
of
few
those
things to say about us
species
that we didn't
and
take
a
you so
man
well.
from Mexico
We're just
spoke
trying to
to
work
each
out our
other,
differences.
they would almost understand each other.
This man you're talking to, not even the Celestian, this man you're talking to, his lips are so kissable.
They're very large and kissable. I'd like to hear his side of the story.
Oh, he's so shiny.
He's
He's
really
so
shiny.
He's sweaty and has saliva just coming out of his mouth all the time.
Just imagine he oils himself every day.
I don't like him.
I don't like it.
I haven't read any of the subtitles that came
Move
from
right
him.
along. Have a
The
drink.
I like Kissable Man more.
The texture of his lower jaw and his hat
Shit,
are
I
the
don't-
same.
Well, you lay a hand on him as a good Jedi thing here, by the way, because
Yeah,
protecting the innocent
but
and
he's
all
so
Someone who wants
not.
to be a hero. Why don't you run along before you get hurt?
His voice also sounds familiar a bit.
Believe me, There's nothing to talk about.
I'm a Jedi.
I promise.
Jedi.
I don't have a lightsaber or robes.
But I am, and
Well,
I can use the Force a little bit, but
Well,
you know.
that outfit does kind of look like Jedi robes.
You look like a farmer on
100 credits.
Tatooine.
Why don't you just run along and let us handle this?
No.
Ironically, that is kind of what Jedi robes look like. Farmer outfits from Tatooine.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Almost like it was on purpose.
Then you shouldn't have gotten involved.
Oh, I don't have
God.
anything.
Just punch.
Without
punch.
So we're gonna have to hit them and use the Force. And
I mean, you do have the Force.
you can make your punches real fast.
What do you mean?
You just. I
You can
mean,
use burst of speed.
Oh,
You
yeah.
have the Force.
I mean, also you are deflecting gunfire with your hands, so I imagine.
Yeah, that should be indicative that maybe, just maybe, they're about to have a bad time.
Yeah.
It's like you're not even just like dodging their bullets. You're just putting your hand up and saying no.
Hit 'em.
You're a much
Kick 'em.
better combatant than they are because your strength is really high. So you know. Also, as the game goes on, your unarmed combat automatically levels up, like
That's kind of
very regularly. And so as the game goes on, you become very dangerous with no weapons.
Oh, cry a roundhouse.
Roadhouse.
Oh, she just disgracing him, stepping on him.
Sliding over him.
Her hips swaying as she stomps on each of his vertebrae. She's actually walking right over his testicles, so I imagine she's just squishing his testicles.
It's like, who knew Freya was a dominatrix?
So if I remember correctly, I think you have to go to the cop shop to get your stuff back.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Popo's holding your stuff.
Of course they are.
God, he's so shiny.
He needs to turn the shiny down.
He needs
I
to go take a
I
bath.
know taking care of skin and everything, but like calm down on it, okay?
He's offering you credits.
I don't need it, it's fine. Oh, Freya, you need to stop.
These boots are made for walking.
I do have to, by the way, say you are unlikely to need money in this game.
It's fine. We never really needed money in the other one, so it's fine.
This game
Those
is
corpses.
yes, loot. This game is making me think of other fun games I've played with Alex that could be fun to record, and I immediately thought of State of Decay, but I don't think that's on.
That's like a
PC.
whole thing.
We
The Glorious
played a very
Republic
short-
of Eretz
I would suggest that you go take a trip by the merchants whenever you can do it now or whenever you have your weapons or
I got
whatever.
back here.
You should definitely check with merchants regularly because their inventories level up with you, and sometimes merchants have really good shit hiding in their inventories.
Yeah, I remember in State of Decay we had the Glorious Republic of Eretz and that show got canceled abruptly. We had a man with a hatchet, and his hatchet might as well have been the will of God. We also had a little black girl with a sledgehammer that killed things really effectively.
What did you want me to go to the shop for? What do you want me to buy?
So
something nice.
there's two merchants here, and they have different stuff. But I saw Sith something. Could you?
Oh, go up to the
could you
top, get robes!
Could you just? There's Jedi robes here. The Ossus
Is
Keeper robe
that?
and the Matuka Apprentice robe. Both of those are Jedi robes.
I don't have enough money for chicken nuggets.
You don't have the money for chicken nuggets.